That's them Hit Squad, and welcome back, guys. Here's your boy Sean.
And your girl Mel.
Yes. Welcome back, guys. And guess what? We got Larry Bird back on the platform.
The best Larry Bird versus Michael Jordan story ever told.
Yes.
You guys sent us this one.
Hey, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yes.
All right. We appreciate you guys sending this over. So, guys, before we get into it, go ahead and smash that like button, turn on all notifications. This is your first time here. Come on over, guys.
Let's
all right,
go.
let's dive into it.
Two legendary players.
Hall of Famer James Worthy, who played against both Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, said, "I'd much rather play against Michael Jordan than Larry Bird. Jordan made you look slow, but Bird made you look stupid."
Whoa!
Look, I'm not here to convince you that Larry Bird is better than Michael Jordan. I'll just present to you the facts and let the NBA legends who actually played against both of them tell you what they think.
People always ask me, who's the hardest player I've ever had to guard? And there was Michael Jordan, George Gervin, the late, great Mike Mitchell. I mean, so many players. I always say Larry Bird. And I say this for the reason because when Michael passed the basketball, he kind of hung on his shorts and he sit off to the side. With Larry, when he passed the basketball is when he became more dangerous. He was either setting a pick, coming off a pick, catching the ball, passing the ball. So he was the one you always had to stay attentive to the whole 24 seconds of that offensive play for the Celtics. And you know what? Oh, he's going to get offensive rebound. He was going to do something to help his team have the best chance of scoring at that point. So I always say as him, he didn't need the basketball to affect the game.
To the untrained eye, Michael Jordan was light years better than Larry Bird, simply because his scoring numbers were better. But in actuality, it was much closer than that because Bird affected the game in so many ways.
Wow.
I saw Larry Bird one night in Phoenix. They were losing big time at the half. And they come out in the third quarter, and Larry did not take a shot, but dominated the game. He had 7 assists in the third quarter. And they came back and won the game.
See that?
He could affect the game without taking a shot. Who else can you say that about?
Who can do that?
Nobody. Michael could never do that. Never.
Wait
Michael
a minute. Wait a minute.
Here's a
We got an argument there.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that Larry was so good that he didn't even have, he had the game so like a strategy. So
Larry was playing chess. All right. And he made other players around him better.
What in the world? So you mean to tell me that it didn't even matter that he wasn't scoring the most points?
He didn't even have to score. All he had to do was just be on the court. His
strategy. He knew how to strategize the game.
He knew how to draw attention to himself, and then he can, dish it off to a wide open guy.
Oh my!
That's what made him good.
I've never heard of such amazingness.
It's brilliant.
Like really?
Here we go, guys. Here we go.
This is crazy.
1986 magazine on the NBA. And remember, this is a league with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, and Dr. J. And in a league with all of these all-time great players, everyone agreed that Larry Bird was the best.
Damn.
Because in 1984, 1985, and 1986, Larry Bird won MVP back to back to back. And in the 1986 playoffs, Larry Bird finally faced Michael Jordan head to head. And in game 1, Michael dropped a spectacular 49 points. But Larry Bird had an all-around game with 30 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals to lead the Celtics to a victory.
See that?
By game 2, MJ had a revelation.
And this is game 2 of the best-of-5 first-round action, and the Celtics will try to make it 2 in a row over the Bulls.
We really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
But
you heard from Mike himself.
Try, because Jordan turned on God mode and broke the record for the most points ever scored in a playoff game.
Lead in the first half of the game against the Celtics Thursday. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it. Hits the jumper, but Bird played pretty well defensively against Jordan.
I know we started Dennis Johnson out on him, and then we went with Danny Ainge. myself, with then Bill Walton, and we was trying to run him to help all the time, but he had his outside shot going so well that he really didn't need to penetrate that much.
Jordan hits it, 56 for Jordan, and that ties the Chicago Bulls all-time leader. Jordan with 8 on the clock. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan.
It was an incredible playoff performance. I've never seen it before, and I had never seen it after. That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
But Larry Bird left with the most important statistic of all, the W.
The win.
10 on the clock. Bird, pick and roll Parrott.
That's an assist.
That
Assist.
Victory for the Boston Celtics to take a 2-0 lead over Chicago in their best of 5.
Michael Jordan didn't beat Larry Bird. You showed Michael Jordan going between his legs one time in the highlights, against Larry Bird. And that was the game he got 63.
That's when he dropped 63 on Bird. Yes.
But if memory serves me correct, they got swept. No, not lost. They got swept. Okay?
That's true.
Even though he dropped 63, we stepped all in his ass, did we not? I rest my case.
Larry Bird went on to win his 3rd championship that year. And the following year, when Larry faced MJ in the playoffs, it happened again.
Inside, Larry Bird against Banks, rubs him around a Perry screen, drives it down the lane, and lays it in with a right hand. Michael Jordan with 30 points in this game, so he was 30 or better in all 3 playoff games. Bird's got 31 in the game and 14 in the 4th quarter. Bullseye. Boston has kept it in good hands in the 4th quarter. It's been Bird, and that's about it.
bleeding?
Final score in Chicago Stadium. The Boston Celtics sweep the Bulls out 105-94.
Again.
Too much Celtic talent, too much Celtic experience for a Bulls team lacking in both areas.
Yeah.
Let's stop it right there for a minute. So Michael Jordan could not get past Bird in the 80s.
Bird was everywhere. He did everything on the team. He
Bird
wasn't a one-stop
was
shop.
a problem to these guys.
Heck yeah.
He was a problem. If we didn't have him on the green, he was a problem.
That's why Mike was like, one man can't win.
Like you heard it right then and there. Here we go, guys. Here we go.
Yes, Larry Bird in back-to-back years swept Michael Jordan in the playoffs.
Damn, Mike.
So if Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, but Michael Jordan never beat Larry Bird, then what does that make Larry Bird?
The best.
Now, to be
The
fair,
greatest of all
at that
time,
point,
the GOAT.
Michael Jordan didn't have his best teammate ever, Scottie Pippen, yet.
Okay.
When Scottie Pippen arrived, the battles were closer and more intense.
Woo.
And later in the video, I'll let you see exactly what happened when Larry Bird faced a prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Because Larry Bird did something so miraculously impressive, no other man in the history of basketball can say they've done. But after Bird swept Jordan back-to-back years in the playoffs, that very next year in 1988, Michael Jordan had statistically the best season ever, where he won the scoring title at 35 points per game, the steals title, the MVP, the defensive player of the year, the All-Star Game MVP, and the dunk contest.
Wow.
He faced Larry Bird 4 times that year, and this is how it went. Game 1, tough battle, Bird wins. Game 2, MJ has a historic 50-point game to win by 10. Game 3, Larry's revenge. After that previous loss, I'm sure Larry Bird had that rematch circled on his calendar, because he ended up with 33, 8, and 7 and blew MJ out by 30 points. Game 4, MJ had an impressive performance with 39 points and 8 assists, but Larry Legend had 44 points and 10 rebounds. But most importantly, a win versus Michael Jordan in his statistically best season ever.
Whoa.
And though Michael Jordan didn't face Bird again that year in the playoffs, Jordan did face Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons. And I'll let Isaiah Thomas tell you exactly how he recalls that year and the rest of the 80s.
So Michael Jordan in the 80s, the best year that he had was he was the MVP of the league and the defensive player of the year. I believe that was in 88.
Yes.
We
88.
beat them 4-1. I'm gonna say that again. 4-1. They won one
May I
game.
respond?
Darn.
And he
They
never
beat him up.
Larry Bird.
In
He
their
never
best
beat Magic
season, they
and
got beat
Kareem.
fourth
He
in
never
Michael
won. And
Jordan's
all
best
I'm saying
season.
is in the 80s, what I remember in the 80s, it was Philadelphia with Dr. J, Magic, Kareem, Burt, Michael Jordan. He was a non-factor.
A non-factor.
Whoa.
Wow. You
Is
can't
that
discredit him like that.
But after Isaiah Thomas
A non-factor?
swept MJ, he did go on to beat Larry Bird in 6 games. And many people touted the Detroit defense for holding Larry Bird to under 20 points per game. But what many don't include in that story is that Larry Bird was noticeably injured with painful bone spurs in both feet. So only because of injuries, for the first time in 5 seasons, Larry Bird would not make the NBA Finals. Starting the following year, Larry Bird had season-ending surgery on both feet after playing only 6 games. But sadly, it only got worse. Because following offseason, Larry Bird broke his back and was never the same again. But even as Larry Bird's entire body betrayed him, for some reason, he always played well against Michael Jordan. Almost like he had a personal vendetta against Jordan.
Yeah.
And I think I know why. When Michael Jordan was in college, he actually played an exhibition game against Larry Bird. Jordan and a bunch of college players, while preparing for the 1984 Olympics, faced Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA stars. The goal was to toughen the college kids up before they headed to the Olympics. So during pre-game warm-ups, when Jordan chased the loose ball to the other end of the court, Larry Bird picked the ball up. But instead of handing it to Jordan, Bird kicked the ball over Jordan's head to the opposite end of the court. And I guess you could say Michael Jordan took that personally.
Now look at my really. Oh, so that's how you're gonna play it. You gonna do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
Michael Jordan dominated that game. A young Michael Jordan actually carried a team full of college players past a prime Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA players. Michael Jordan won the battle, but Larry Bird won the war. I think Larry Bird took that loss personally because Jordan never really got the best of Larry Bird ever again. When Larry Bird finally returned to the court after missing basically an entire season with foot surgery and a back injury, he faced prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in a regular season game. The teams went back and forth.
Bagley against Paxson, 10 on the shot clock. Jordan on Bird. Quick feed into Jim Paxson for the layup. Larry Bird has KO the read. Jordan the steal. Scottie Pippen ahead to Jordan. Michael for the dunk. Bird against Pippen. Bird working on Pippen one-on-one. Hits the fadeaway.
And with 10 seconds to go, it was a tie game. The Celtics had the ball, and the Bulls put their 2 best defenders, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, both on Larry Bird because everyone knows who the ball is going to.
Absolutely.
And then this happened.
Let's see if they wind it all the way down. Inside of 10 seconds. Bird low. You can't double yet. Now you can quickly. Bird's jumper. Good. 3.6 seconds left. Larry Bird.
6 seconds left.
A 2-point lead.
Woo!
Larry
everybody in this building had to know it was going to. Michael came over to help out. Celtics lead with 3.6 seconds here, 102 to 100.
A game-winning shot while being double-teamed by both Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, two of the best defenders of all time. Somehow the word clutch doesn't even begin to describe the greatness of Larry Bird when the game was on the line. But maybe a quote from NBA Hall of Fame coach, executive, and former player Pat Riley can explain. In an interview, when comparing Larry Bird and Michael Jordan's clutchness, Pat Riley said this iconic quote, "If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save a game, I'd choose Michael Jordan. If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save my life, I'd take Larry Bird." As Larry Bird was on his last legs and Michael Jordan was starting his dynasty in 1991, Larry Bird mustered up enough strength to battle MJ again in one of the last great duels between the two.
Gamble came up with the steal.
Wow.
Here's Bird. Yes. He was hit on a switch by Jordan, and there 69, Chicago 67. Jordan eluding a triple team. Reggie Lewis. Larry Bird.
Beast, man.
Wow.
This battle between two all-time greats came down to the wire. In overtime, it was a tie game with 0.4 seconds on the clock, and the Chicago Bulls had the ball.
Pippen now will look to throw in. 0.4 of a second. And here it is, Jordan with the play. Yes! Waved off. Will not count. Mike Mathis said no. Did not beat the clock.
Ooh, he almost had it. After Jordan's possible game winner was waved off, Larry Bird, on 4 straight possessions in double overtime, did this.
Jordan.
It's great to hear all these coaches talk about they're really concerned as Bird hits a little fadeaway. They're really concerned about the minutes
so
building up.
sweet.
They want to be fresh going into the playoffs until the game.
Overtime number 2. Bird. Yes. Larry Bird heating it out to go in the second overtime. Bird with the fake through the foul and hits.
And one, baby.
45 to go in the second overtime. Bird fires. Yes.
The crowd couldn't help but chant the name of the greatest player of all time.
Shook his head and said, "This guy's too much."
And the chant of Larry. Lee Brown beat John Paxson off the pitch. And the second overtime, and that will do it.
Larry Bird does it again.
The Boston Celtics in double overtime have defeated the Chicago Bulls 135 to 132 in a wild one.
That guy was a beast.
The Celtics held on to win that game, but that year, Michael Jordan won his first championship versus Magic Johnson in the finals, and his dynasty had officially begun.
Larry and I were talking, and Michael walks in, and he says, "It's a new sheriff in town."
Oh, no,
Pass the torch. We hit each other like, well, he's not lying.
Wow.
Larry Bird retired after that next season, but not before he took the court with Michael Jordan one last time.
Wow.
Except this time, it would be on the same team in what many would call the greatest team ever assembled. The 1992 Dream Team.
Dream Team, baby.
Rebounded by Jordan.
Perez may have realized that may be his best opportunity to get an open look in transition.
Magic with the pass that misfired. Jordan with the behind the back save. Here's Bird.
Cash.
And you just knew that Larry Bird was not going to miss that shot after the great save by Michael Jordan.
Larry, I hate that you're retiring. Thank goodness. I'm glad. I'm tired of seeing your face. For a lot of sad memories to me, but I enjoyed you tremendously. I wish you a lot of luck, and I think you had a very wonderful career, even though you probably ruined a lot of my successful games against the Boston Celtics.
Gotta call a spade a spade.
And I'll see you somewhere along the road, somewhere playing golf.
Even though he dropped 63, we stepped all in his ass, did we not? I rest my...
Oh, Rob Price, I don't remember you doing anything. Larry Bird did the hard work, man.
Oh, man, you know what? Wow, this is amazing.
Wow,
so now
man.
I get it. I'm starting to truly understand.
The rivals and the...
Yeah. So Jordan was the talent of the NBA.
Jordan had the most skills.
Larry Bird was the heartbeat.
Larry had the brain.
He was the heartbeat of it.
Larry knew how to win.
Wow.
Larry knew how to get the W.
Wow.
And he didn't care about, the stats or, the dunking and all of that. He just wanted to win.
Yes.
He had a heart to win.
Yes, absolutely.
And he got MVP 3 times in a row.
You know what? That
That's
hit
impressive.
hard when the guy said, who would you choose to, shoot to win the game? He
Pat
said,
Riley.
I would choose Jordan to win the game, but I would choose Larry Bird if my life depended on
save
it.
his life.
To save my life. Well,
Yes.
I'd be darned. That's
I
the
gotta
heartbeat
respect that right there.
That's the heartbeat.
Because he was a tough guy.
Yeah.
If I was in the NBA around that time, I would want to be on Larry Bird's team. I don't want to play against Larry.
Yes.
I would probably feel Larry because just the look in his eyes, man, he had that look.
Determination.
Like I'm going to win regardless of what you do, however you do it. We're going to win. We're not
Even
gonna
if
lose.
I have to pass the ball. I don't even have to dunk it.
I could just pass the ball,
Just pass it.
draw the attention to me, and then kick it off, and then bam. There you go.
Absolutely. Wow.
But wow, man, it's so exciting to watch and to hear from the other players. Just to give Larry Bird, just that pay homage to him. So wow, man, it's amazing.
And I know these guys mean business,
Absolutely.
They ain't gonna lie or sugarcoat it. If they said it, you can stamp it.
Oh, yeah.
It's the truth.
I mean, these are physical
Absolutely.
guys that lift weights.
They played with him.
Athletic, big, strong guys. And
And they
Larry
all-
Bird is beating them.
They all say the same thing.
They all say the same thing. They all say the same thing, and it's true. Numbers don't lie. Just look at the numbers. The numbers do not lie. And he was a problem for Michael Jordan in the 80s.
Ooh.
So Mike had to hit the gym. He had to get stronger. He was more competitive. Wow. So Larry Bird made him a better player.
Wow. That's awesome.
Definitely. So
That's awesome.
wow, there it is. But that's so much fun to watch.
Yes, it is.
Because I didn't know all of this stuff. I didn't know that he won 3 MVPs back to back to back.
Ooh.
So I'm learning some new things now.
Me too.
Wow.
It's
Unbelievable.
awesome.
Unbelievable. All right.
Wow.
So another video in the books, guys. We appreciate you guys sending this one over. We had a blast watching it. And we need more, guys. We are definitely in a rabbit hole, Larry Bird rabbit hole.
Yes.
What do you call him? You gave him a nickname.
Um.
What was that nickname you gave him? It was a perfect nickname.
Oh my goodness.
I forgot, so you don't worry about it.
I beat you. I think it was Larry, I beat your ass bird.
Wow.
I'll beat your ass bird. Larry, I'll beat your ass bird. Something like that.
Single-handed.
But we already know what Larry, what he's capable of. You don't want to play with Larry.
That's going to be the argument because who was the GOAT? Who was the greatest of all time? A part of me want to say Bird and a part of me want to say MJ. But it's almost like passing the torch. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Like there would be no MJ if there wasn't a Bird.
Right. And Magic.
I'm sorry.
And Magic.
And Magic
and
now.
Magic now. Yes.
They paved the way.
They definitely paved the way.
They paved the way.
And they just pass it off to Mike. Mike passed it to Kobe. Kobe passed it
Yes,
to LeBron.
absolutely.
And it's just, so forth and so forth. So there it is, guys. We definitely appreciate the love and support.
They all spark something in each other.
Yes. Athletic. These guys, get paid the big bucks to win. And that's what it's all about. Winning. And Bird was a winner.
Absolutely.
All right. Stats don't lie. That's our time, guys. We're getting up out of here. Peace, love, and blessings to all. We thank you guys.
Peace.
Peace.